What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchet REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction.
Yes.
Super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us
And we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down, hit
that
that
subscribe
subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 100K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
My name is Jonna, and I live in the north of Sweden.
Oh, beautiful, like a winter wonder.
Oh, yeah. That's dope. Okay. Her accent her own wood. Water in her own garden.
Yes.
Sweden is a country with a lot of light. And it's also a country with a lot of darkness.
It's quiet too, I bet.
It all depends on what season it is.
I think I would like that though.
Yeah, that's like living somewhere like in the mountains almost.
Yeah, like I'm a you know, a earthy person. And of course, I can say that not having lived there. You know, some people may be like, no, you could not live in this. I think it's interesting because the topic came up one time about they're the happiest people, but they rank high in depression or something like that, or people who take antidepressants.
Something like that, yeah. And we was confused when we heard that because it was like, how if they're happy? You know?
Right. It's like on two sides of the spectrum, you know, so it's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
But I feel like I can deal with darkness.
Yeah, I mean, I can as well. But
I
also,
say that, but
you have all your seasons as well. That's
Right,
vibrant,
right.
You got your icy white, your snow white. You got your real colorful for the springtime, and it's like you can't beat that. And you got your sunset, then you got the ambience of the skies.
yeah.
Just like many other countries in the northern hemisphere, there is a strong contrast in the light conditions between summer and winter.
I can see.
In the winter, it's dark almost all the time.
Yeah,
And in the summer, it's light all the time.
Now see that would bother me. Like,
During the summer, in the very north of Sweden,
Wow,
the sun never sets between the end of May until the middle of July. So you can see the sun 24 hours a day, and that is called the midnight sun.
Yeah, they different. They built for this type of because depression can definitely click because I don't know. I guess you got to have that experience with the other places of the world to see.
I feel like it would be the opposite for me because of my norm. Like, I love blackout curtains. I don't like the sun to wake me up.
Yeah.
The light would bother me all day long, every day. Never said. I'd be like, cut it off.
Right. Something.
Yeah, I mean,
That's different though.
yeah.
It does something to your mind.
And then, during the winter in the very north of Sweden, it's the opposite. For a couple of weeks, the sun never rises above the horizon, which means that there is no sunlight for about a month. And that is called the polar night.
It's giving me that Godfather clock. That when they hand make it a certain, they do one of these here, then it ain't moving. Like, how the sun don't make it across the horizon over there?
Because of their location. That's all it is. They can't help. They can't cut it off.
They say the sun makes a full circle around the earth.
Yeah, but because of their location.
So they. Now this goes back to the earth is round and flat conversation, but we ain't gonna get into it.
These extreme contrasts in light is caused by their...
I would love to know that. I know this is very controversial, but we're going to keep it positive here, okay? I would love to know people who are in this region, people who, you know, have this going on where they live. How do you feel about the earth being round or flat? Positive conversation.
That's a bar.
rotation of the Earth in relation to the position of the Sun, and the further north you go, the bigger the contrast. I live in the middle north of Sweden, and if I'm lucky and it's a clear sky, I can see the sun above the treetops for about an hour during the darkest time of the year.
Man.
It's the middle of the day, and this is how high the sun goes up now. It's just a little bit over the horizon, or over the trees. But winters like this one, when it's been cloudy every day, I actually didn't see a glimpse of the sun for over a month. But just a few days ago, now in the beginning of January, I got to feel the sun on my face again. This is the first glimpse of the sun that we see in over a month. Do you see this?
I feel like they're naturally challenged. Like, we have everything happening, you know what I'm saying, with our seasons and everything. The sun is not a problem.
But
it does
even that,
get hot, but they're naturally challenged. How you live for a month, no light? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, a month, like, that's long.
So, yeah, that is madly long. Like, it becomes normal eventually, but how much more do you want your mind to accept that?
I don't know, and that's why I said at the beginning of the video, we can say that not having lived there, but if you live there, it's a different story, you know?
Yeah.
I think, like, on vacation, I can deal with it. Now, living there and a month go by and no sun, like, if I got things to do outside the house, I probably would have a problem with it. But if I'm just at home, just movies and work and...
I feel like for a natural, you know, American, because we can say American, right? Never said it before like that, but living out there, it would probably be a challenge. I'm saying because, like, I would do, not living, but I would do a vacate for a month just to have the experience and see what it's like and not deal with no sunlight. Like, what if we go out there and no sunlight pop up?
Right, but
that wouldn't be
think
normal
of it
for
this
us.
way. We're coming from Louisiana, right? Where up until like a decade ago, we didn't really see snow like that. And now people are seeing snow like every year.
Facts.
Right? So coming from that, knowing that it rains, it could rain, be hot, be cold in one day.
Right.
And then when we move here to Texas, North Texas, we don't see rain much.
Ain't a cloud in the sky.
We know that it's gonna freeze every year. That was a culture shock that we had to get used to.
Fact,
now being here for going on 4 years, we're used to it. We know what to expect. We know that we got to get ready for the a freeze, just like we'll get ready for a hurricane.
Right.
We haven't dealt with a single hurricane up here.
We had tornado watches.
But a hurricane.
But no hurricanes, right? No hurricanes.
Right. So you adapt to where you live.
Facts. I believe that's 100%.
And that feeling when you begin to is always overwhelming. It's like seeing the sun for the first time in your life. Even if it can be hard sometimes with these kinds of light conditions, I really love it and I would never want to change it. I think the light is never as beautiful as it is during these most extreme times of the year.
How do you cope with the weather though?
When it's summer, I usually change my rhythm and stay up all nights and then sleep in the forenoon instead.
Wow.
The light is so beautiful in the middle of the night, and as a filmmaker and photographer, it's like a dream to be out and capture the beauty of the bright nights of June.
It's so...
I don't know, bro. They make it seem like, I don't know. That's different.
I love overcast.
That's different.
Like, I love that. We going to sleep.
Yo, 2:29 at night, but it's in the morning. Well, the sun is still up. Like,
right. I would love that.
I
would love the experience. I don't know about living there.
Nah, I don't think I could do the living. Not there, like, cause that cold and that snow 24 hours nonstop. I'm not.
So
I'm
is
not,
it?
Nah. I wouldn't do all that.
So what is a hot day to y'all?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, how many degrees is that? Cause it just look always cold.
Yeah. See, that's nice. That's what's up.
The morning dew.
And then in the winter, even if we don't get so much sunlight, we at least get a few hours of twilight during the day.
Twilight.
And that light is the most beautiful kind of daylight that I know.
It's like perfect.
It's like experiencing a long sunrise without a sun.
Yes, I love that.
And when it's a clear sky and the sun is rising just a tiny bit above the treetops, it spreads a soft and pink light all over the landscape. And that is beyond beautiful.
I see people down there. There's some
Around
rooms
3
down
in
there.
the day, it's already getting dark, and it makes the evenings feel never-ending. But the darkness makes us see what is never visible in the light. Because actually, we do get sunlight from thousands of suns far, far away.
Oh, I know that's pretty.
I live in a place where there's no light pollution, and the night sky is breathtaking. And for me, that is one of the reasons that I really love the winter here.
That's like in Namibia.
Okay, yeah.
Where you can see all of the stars at night. Oh my God, we gotta experience that.
Yeah, so this is definitely different, y'all. I feel like this is like its own, like real own type of way of living. This is like no other place in the world. This is definitely captivating.
Yeah, I like it.
And now and then, the sun sends us a greeting in the darkness. Particles from storms on the surface of the sun comes traveling towards the earth, colliding with our magnetic field and creating the aurora borealis, the northern lights that dances in the sky.
OMG. I feel like
I can never find the right words to describe how much I love to stand under the northern lights on a cold and dark winter night. I can take the darkness any day, as long as I get to see the stars and the northern lights. It makes it all worth it. But even though there is so much beauty to find in these special kinds of light conditions that we have here in the north, I would lie if I said that it's always easy to live and adapt to them, because it's not.
Right. I don't think it's easy to adapt to.
Well, the summer is easy. I don't think you can have too much light. The only thing that people often ask me is if it's harder to sleep when it's light all night. And for me personally, if I want to sleep during the night, I have no problem with that. And for those who do feel like it's a problem.
Is it broke? Close the blinds.
Right.
You make it like...
And she have white curtains.
Right.
Baby, look, everything will be dark and black.
For real. We'll have to create you. Like, so you guys switch up your environment, you know what I'm saying, to make do with what's going on outside. Because if you don't, then you're going to be dealing with this, tossing and turning.
And it shouldn't be hard to sleep. I mean, because...
I think it is hard to sleep.
You think?
Changing up your sleeping patterns.
I say that, well, no, if that's all they know, it wouldn't be hard. I feel like if they have blackout curtains, because during my pregnancies, I slept when the children was at school. So it was light outside. I would just close the curtains and go to sleep. Make the room dark. Like, if your room is dark, the outside shouldn't matter. But, okay, so... I want to say this comment, but then I'm like, I don't know. Because when it's cold, your grass don't really grow like that.
Well, I think when it's cold out there, I think it look like it's cold 24/7, yeah. I ain't gonna much lie, even with the sun out.
Yeah, because I was going to say, unless you have, you know, people come cutting their grass, because it's light out every day.
It's different.
Yeah.
So what's the outdoor adventures, other than what she's shown? Like, what is the outdoor adventures you guys do, even at night, besides with the... I'm pretty sure y'all go inside because it's dark 24/7 around that time.
Ooh, what about children being outside all day?
I don't know, that's different, y'all. As y'all see, we got a lot of questions, so.
Yeah.
It's easily fixed with some thick and dark curtains.
See? Said dark curtains.
But the winter and the darkness is definitely much more challenging. And I can only speak from my own experience now. The lack of sunlight makes me more tired, and during the darkest and coldest months, between November and March, I sometimes struggle to keep the energy up.
Nah, that makes
It's
sense.
harder to get up in the morning when
course.
it's dark outside. Our body naturally want to wake up with the sun. And in the afternoon, I often get confused with the time, since the darkness makes it feel like it's much later than it actually is. And the lack of daylight makes me struggle more as a filmmaker, since I only have 1 hour of good light to film in a day, compared to the 24-hour of good light in the summer.
And see, that's the thing. We deal with daylight savings time.
But we get vitamin D, though.
Yeah, we
Right,
do.
we get that sun.
It's more than an hour. I mean, what? Sunrise around like 6. And then it gets dark around like 5, 6.
Unless time change, and then they just do that little shift time thing.
Yeah, so Yeah, definitely. I know, like when during the winter, we'll feel like, oh my God, the sun down already. You know, like that's how we feel now, and yeah.
Like so, we have some times where it would start getting dark at around 5 o'clock, and then we have some times where we get dark around 8 o'clock.
And I like when it get dark around 8.
Right. So, and for the kids, they love it. They get to go outside. I think everybody like it. They get to go outside and just enjoy more things and feel like there's still time left in the day for us. Y'all's like time just say, give me back. Like give me back time. Let me give you a little bit of time.
Right.
I think that's really difficult to adapt to.
Yeah,
your body needs sun.
I mean, but if that's all you don't know nothing else.
But she said it though. Like she said, it's difficult. Like your body's tired more when it's dark because it's dark. It's nighttime. It's time to go to sleep.
Yeah, but I feel like it would be easier for someone who is from Sweden to
100%.
Know that. But for us, it'll be like,
yeah, we're gonna need like a Sweden tour guide so we can see how that living be like, just for a month.
How that living be like.
Yeah.
I would love to know like a child's perspective of this.
Oh yeah, that'd be crazy. Kids got some different ways of doing things too.
So the darkness combined with the cold make things a bit more challenging. And I know I'm not the only one struggling to keep up the energy during this time of the year.
Just look like fields and fields.
Easy.
That's a hot spring or something?
Easy. She built for it.
But of course, there is many things you can do to make the winters a little easier. I want to mention a few things that helps me adapt better to the lack of sunlight. For me personally, I think that the tiredness that I feel in the winter is the hardest part. The energy level is so low sometimes. And the cure to that is not always to sleep more. It can actually be to do the opposite. So I try my best to keep being active and moving my body as much as I can, and get as much daylight as possible. I go for long walks with my dog every day. And if the weather is good, I like to go out in the forest with my snowshoes and my camera, or go skiing. I also love to take ice baths. It's something I started doing a few years ago, combined with breathing exercises, using the Wim Hof method, and it has become my favorite way of boosting myself with new energy when I need it the most.
So that's free.
Going into that freezing water is actually the last thing that my body wants to do in that moment. But putting myself into that kind of discomfort is awakening something in me that helps me reset my body. Believe it or not, but cold swims and cold showers has many good health benefits.
True.
It's not for everyone, of course, and it's important to get knowledge before trying an ice bath if you have never done it before. But for me, it has been a great source of energy and joy during the winter time. So, I really feel a big difference in my energy levels in the winter when I move my body in some way. It doesn't need to be a full workout, but just something, a little every day, that makes you feel alive. When we can't get enough energy from the sun, I think it's even more important to make sure that we get enough energy and nutrition from our food. Nature has so much to give us in the summer that we can harvest and save for the winter when we need it the most.
I don't know why. I don't know why I got so happy when I seen dirt, y'all, and the greenery and the. Oh man.
No. And it's beautiful too. Look at it.
It's so rich. Vibrant. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's rich.
Growing your own food.
Yeah.
I believe it can help a little bit. The list of things you can do to handle the darkness is endless. These were just to mention a few, but I think that the most important thing of all is to accept and adapt to the cycles of nature. I definitely feel a big difference in the energy during summer and winter, both in nature and in myself. And that doesn't mean that it's right or wrong, it's just different. I think the winter and the darkness can cause a lot of unnecessary suffering when we are trying to force ourselves to feel the same as we do in the summer. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel lack of inspiration. And it's okay to need more sleep and to let things slow down. A flower would never...
Man.
I wonder, people from Sweden and other areas of the world who deals with this. Because I remember following like some TikTok accounts and they're like, look y'all, our last sun of the year. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I wonder, like, when they come to other places of the world, what are the culture shocks like? How long do it take to adapt to, you know, other places of the world where you can see almost an equal amount of sun at night? You know?
I think they have a norm between that as well. Like, they have their one phase where it's like really dark, then it's really light for a whole bunch of time, then they get like an hour of sunlight. Is there like a norm phase where it's just a normal 24-hour sunlight and then it's back to the darkness? Because if y'all can experience that, then I think that it wouldn't, y'all have that minimum culture shock going somewhere else.
Minimum, huh?
And it wouldn't be too much of a, you know, it wouldn't be hard to adapt to at that point.
Right. So, like, I remember when we moved here and we're like, where are the clouds?
Yeah.
What happened?
No clouds at all.
No
this guy.
clouds
I'm like,
in sight.
Bro, we ain't about to get no rain.
And we're just next door to our home state.
So we used to the wet grass, the morning dew, the fog, you know what I'm saying? A little mist in the sky. We used to that.
Yeah, and we're not like, we're kind of up north. Not up north. We're in Texas, but Texas is so huge to where in Houston's weather is almost identical to Louisiana, but being so close to like Oklahoma, we kind of get their weather. But just the no clouds thing was a culture shock for me. Not having rain, we could go weeks without rain.
It was longer than weeks. Like when we first got here.
Yeah, we was really like, hot. What is going? And then we dealt with the heat. OMG. I don't like clear skies. I don't. I need to see something.
Force itself to bloom in the cold winter.
Come on, little flower.
So why would we? This way of thinking changed my way of dealing with the difference.
I'm gonna rewind it and let y'all catch exactly what she just said again, but that took me to a Bible verse instantly when God says that I think the birds of the airs and the beasts of the field and the flowers, like, they don't worry about
whether or not
they're gonna eat or not. So, and I'm not saying not to think about whether you're gonna eat or not, but how she put it when she said they don't force themselves to bloom. So why would we try to force ourselves to be something or, you know, be in position so we can be prepared? It's like, this just made me think about that. Let it be. Go with the motion and don't force it.
A flower would never force itself to bloom in the cold winter. So why would we?
Yep.
This way of thinking changed my way of dealing with the different seasons. I love the winters just as much as I love the summers. They both have their own benefits and challenges. And I think it gets much easier when we let go and accept what we feel instead of fighting it, and accept the cycles in nature and the cycles in ourselves and learn to live with it, like a dance.
Yeah, all the insects must be asleep.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
She got some fire. She got some fire pictures coming in right now.
Yeah, she took some time to film this.
I just love how even though they go through the dark, you know what I'm saying, I just love how, you know, involved she is with nature. Because like just from the perspective of her paying attention to the flower, she learned a lot. Like, and having to live in this condition is a mental thing. So you have to be set up in the minds. Like, you got to be real strong.
It's very different, especially, you know, having to go out and work and you're just so tired. Like, oh, this is a good day to go home and, you know, relax, watch some Netflix and read a book, you know, cook a meal, paint.
And it's still dark outside?
Right. But if they're dealing with that all the time, and me being a writer, me being, you know, just so connected to earth,
you would like
I don't know, like, if I had to go out and just, I don't know.
You're a homebody, so I feel like that wouldn't be a problem, but realizing it's still dark, what time is it, what today is, that type of stuff.
Even children with having to learn and
even the babies,
study, different.
For that challenge though, I like challenges. I feel like I'll be up for that. It would be difficult. I feel like it really would be. Probably lose my mind first few days. I'm like, I'm confused, but I'm up for that.
Yes, I am as well. I would love to know the children's perspective. I would love to know, you know, people who live more like in a city, more in a city. You know, she seems like she lives in what we would call the country areas where it's not as many neighbors. So I would love to know that. What attractions y'all have, you know.
She got one of them locations that makes you ask yourself, what 3 things would you bring?
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Because, man, it's
different.
You got to stay active. Yeah. Man, you got to stay active in those type of conditions.
Yeah. So we'd love to know you guys' point of view. We know we have a lot of supporters in Sweden, so we would love to know that. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you'd like to support the channel that way, as well as